Cardboard Wars is part of the Rippin' Podcast Network. In today's episode, Bob's Rippin' and Jake M46 Rippin' dive into the essentials of attending the 46th National Sports Collectors Convention. They share insider tips, explore the diverse lineup of sports legends, and discuss the bustling atmosphere of this vast collectors gathering. Whether you're hunting for a rare card or eager to experience the vibrant community, this episode prepares you for a memorable time on the convention floor. So sit back and enjoy this episode of Cardboard Wars.
Welcome back to Cardboard Wars. I'm Bob.
Is that how we do it, Bob? Shouldn't it be like a really loud yell and Cardboard Wars, something crazy like that, or what's going on?
Cardboard Wars!
No, there it is. There it is.
I'm Bob.
Hey, and I'm Jake. And normally on this show, we take you back in time. We tell you the story of a card, an athlete, a company, and why a little piece of cardboard ended up mattering to millions of people.
But Jake, today is a little bit different. Ben Rippin gave us the keys, left us here all by ourselves, no adults in the room. So today, we're going to do something a little bit different. In about 2 weeks, depending on when you listen to this, hopefully not after, but the biggest event in the entire hobby is going to go down, my friend. The National Sports Collectors Convention. It's 46th year running, Jake.
I'm going to be there. Are you going to be there?
I'll be there with you, buddy. I think we're on the same
that's
flight.
right. I think we're on the same flight. Maybe staying in the same place. I don't know. But yes, there is a card show coming up. And we've been there, actually. We're not veterans by any means. So we're not the guys who have gone like 25 years running. But we've walked that floor. We made a lot of mistakes. And I'll tell you about one I did. And we want to save you from making them too.
Yeah, so this episode's going to be a game plan, man. Like, we collect sports cards. Like, you don't play a basketball game without a plan, my friend. So it's going to be history, strategy, what to bring, who's going to be there. Oh my goodness, the lineup this year for the autographs is insane. And yeah, we're going to tell you about the Jordans.
Dude, we're always going to tell them about the Jordans. In fact, there's two types of Jordans we're going to tell them about here.
So let's back up for a second. What is the National, Jake? And I gave the official title of it, but we all refer to it as the National. What is it?
Yeah, so the Nationals actually started in 1980. And actually, I wish I would have gone back then and started my collection more seriously back then. But that's a whole nother story. I wouldn't be on this podcast, maybe not. And this is back when the hobby was still card shops and church basements and, the folding tables. And the idea was simple. What if once a year, everybody came to the same room, every dealer, collector, grading companies eventually, one place, 1 week.
And it doesn't stay in the same city, right? It moves. Not every single year. It has been somewhere different. Chicago, Atlantic City, Cleveland. This is actually year 2, Jake, of a 3-year run. So we went last year at this Rosemont, which is right outside of Chicago. So 25, 26, and 27 will all be right there at the Donald E. Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont, Illinois.
And you know what, dude? Like I had never been there before. Actually, I'd never been to Illinois, period. And if you've ever been to that building, it's enormous. It's 500,000 square feet, 600 plus dealer booths. And let me clarify, this is a number that actually undersells it, because when they count the dealer booths, there could be like 3, 4, 2, 5, 6 people with card setups in the booth. So dealers run multiple tables at once, and it's not a card show. It's the hobby's one huge, massive get-together every year.
I mean, and look, I didn't get it until the first time I walked it, Jake, personally. You cannot overstate how much is there. It's absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, by day 3, I think I walked into an area where I'm like, what? This is a new area I haven't even been in yet. But you can go to 100 local card shows in your life, and none of them prepare you for the scale of the National.
And I think when we were walking out last year, Bob, I mean, we would walk into a place and we'd have to double take and say, have we walked this yet? Or wait, yeah, we were here like yesterday, right? Like it was crazy.
Yeah.
So what's actually new for 2026? What do you got?
So for one, this comes off a year where the whole floor grew about 30%, and they're building on that. There's 150 more dealer tables are getting added across halls G and the main floor.
Yeah, and for the first time ever, there's actually going to be a brand new international pavilion up in
Super
Hall
cool.
G. That's sick, right? So
Yeah.
the 50 tables of dealers, and when you say 50 tables, I mean it could be more like 100. Who knows? They're coming from 8 countries. You got United Kingdom, you got Germany, Croatia, Hungary, China, Hong Kong, France, and Italy.
Dude, I mean, that's soccer cards, Jake. That's F1. That's do they do cricket cards? I don't know, but I feel like they rugby. Who knows? Like these will be a lot of stuff that we don't generally see in large quantities at the national. So I think that's super cool. You wouldn't see that kind of stuff at a normal U.S. show that in that international pavilion.
Who knows, Bob? I mean, you got UK and Germany coming. You might have beer pint champion cards, and if they do have that, I am buying them, especially if they're signed. So
Dude, I want some of those old Jesse Owens cards from the 36 Olympics that were in Germany, right? Those will probably be a little bit more prevalent.
And you know what? There's also a case break pavilion again this year. It was there last year. Some call it the Breakers Pavilion. Some call it the live streaming pavilion. Either way, it's 55,000 square feet just for live case breaks, for the live breakers. And third year they've run it, so not new, but they're going to have it again. And if you never watched a box get busted live on the floor with a crowd around, it's pretty cool. I mean,
Yeah.
especially like when they ripped that. Remember they ripped that box of Jordan rookie year cards?
Yeah. Yeah. That area, I love the energy of that area. They've got that, and I don't know if they'll have it again this year, but they have the big, almost looks like you walked into a Vegas sports book where they've got all the breaker TVs up there, and they kind of have one guy kind of run a show from that thing all throughout the day, and super cool. Here's a real practical one, Jake. Tops and Panini's done this in the past, and likely will have a thing of the similar nature, but they run some version of like a wrapper redemption at the National. And so what happens is they will put out before the National, you can probably go find the list today, Tops will put out certain boxes that when you're at the National, if you buy a box of that, then you can take it back to the Tops booth and you can redeem it for some cards that are only available at the National. So I don't know what last year, Jake, they were the silver packs or whatever they are. But that's super cool. Like I grabbed a box there that I may or may not have bought for a chance to get some of those fun cards. I actually pulled one of my favorite baseball players was George Brett. I pulled a George Brett number to 5 card out of there last year, which was just, an extra bit of fun on a box of cards I would have bought anyway, probably.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then, like, I think even Upper Deck has them, right? They even had those packs, and it was fun fact, that Upper Deck's doing the Jordan autographed packs redemptions, and I probably think that those boxes of those cards will actually be part of it. And then, speaking of Upper Deck, do you remember those big boxes they had that were like $5,000?
Yeah.
And you had a chance to win memorabilia. That was pretty sick too. So, if it's on your list, though, Bob, don't wait till you get there. Right? I mean, you want to check, like you said, the Tops announcements right before the show for exactly which products qualify this year, because that list kind of changes every time.
Yeah. There's also, by the way, when you get in there, if you get in there early, there's some of the things that like it's a more affordable box that you can buy to get the redemption. And those tend to be gone by day 2 or so. But and then you're stuck if you want to get some of those special edition cards, you got to buy the little bit more expensive boxes. But the autograph pavilion, it's here. I mentioned it earlier. We're going to do a whole section in a couple minutes on who's going to be in there. And I mean, the names are just unbelievable.
Dude, they're legends. They're freaking legends. So, okay, let's get into the part people actually need. 5 days, one floor, how do you actually spend them?
Let's talk a little day-to-day strategy. I mean, Wednesday for us, Jake, we get on a plane on Wednesday morning and we fly and we land and we're on the ground and we're getting over to that convention center as soon as we can to get our badges and get checked in and all that, right? But that's our day one. It's a half a day for us. It's not a buying day. we might as well wear camo, bud. We're in recon mode, right? Like every deal's got all their inventory out. Some of them are holding some stuff back because they know they'll clear some spaces out and need some stuff to bring into the case on day 3 and 4. But most of the good stuff's out there, right? Nothing's been picked through. Everything's going to look amazing, especially if you've never been there before. You're going to be overwhelmed, but we try to keep our wallets away on day one.
Yeah, because that's the trap, dude. Like, those dealers have 4 more days to sell that stuff, so they have everything out, and you see some incredible cards. Now, have I bought on that first day? Actually, I don't think I did. I waited till the next day last year. I wanted to. And they have zero reason to come off price in the beginning, so you got no leverage there.
Yeah. So what do you do with it, Jake? Well, what do we do? We're out there. What are we up to on that half a day?
You walk it. So we walk as much as we can. You're not going to get through the whole thing because it takes a few days, in my opinion, to walk the thing. You take pictures, write down the booth numbers of cards you're interested in. That's a huge piece is, so you know where to come back to. Figure out who's got what you actually collect and kind of build a map in your head or write down some directions and figure that out. So you can come back later, either day 2, day 3, or maybe later in the show.
Some people may, I don't know how you showed up there last year, Jake. I'm going to show up a little bit different this year than I showed up last year. And I think day one will kind of be more valuable to me. Last year, I just kind of showed up. I didn't have any expectations. I didn't really have a list of anything that I was looking to get. By the second day, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this card and this card and this card. But this year, I'm going to come in with, these are the cards that like I'm really targeting these couple of cards, because then on day one, I can start to see, okay, this guy's got it. This guy's got it. He's got it at this grade and that price, and really start to kind of formulate a buying plan for myself a little bit later. But Thursday, I believe it's still too early. There's still full inventory everywhere you look. The same rules we talked about on Wednesday are mostly applying. You're still mapping out and getting your bearings more than you're buying big. Like, we're degenerates, Jake, so I think we probably bought a couple boxes on Thursday so we could have something to rip that night at dinner.
Dude, we buy a couple boxes every day. Are you kidding me? We got to hit the restaurant with some product.
Right. We're not sitting there eating steak with just and chatting with each other. We don't even like each other that much. But you're mapping more than you're buying still big, right? But, you can start acting on the best stuff you found on Wednesday. And I would tell you this, if there's a grail you have, a card, maybe a more rare card, Jake, or something like that, right? I remember last year one of our friends was looking for like Muhammad Ali's first card and spotted it. Look, don't not buy the card on Thursday, because we're like, you could wait and risk it not being there if it's your grail, right? Or if it is a great price or something, because somebody else will come along and it'll be their grail and it'll be gone. So you can, if it's some of that best stuff, it's your 1 or 2 on the list, right? Maybe you consider pulling a little bit of a trigger Thursday.
And for anybody out there, if you've never seen like 6, 7, 8 grown ass man sitting at a restaurant, a nice restaurant, and pulling out boxes of cards and opening packs right at the table, just ask us where we're eating at, and you can. That'd be a good reel. That would be a good film, right? So this is where the real first decisions get made, and not blind ones, right? We want to make good decisions, kind of like you said. If it's your grail, maybe pick it up. If not, go see who has what. So what happens on Friday?
Well, Friday's my favorite day, man. It's you get like the full feel of the National without the weekend crowds. Like, there's a few more people there on Friday than there was Thursday. Things are buzzing. You start to see some of the autograph people showing up. I remember on Friday last year, I was like shell shocked when Dominique Wilkins walked right by me, like literally shoulder to shoulder with me. And I was like, oh my God, Dominique Wilkins, like what? But it's the full floor. It's the full energy without the lines that, will happen on Saturday, right, Jake?
Well, Saturday's the opposite. It's the busiest day by a mile. I mean, you're catching elbows, shoulders. I mean, it is crowded, dude. I mean, every casual collector, every family that could only make one day, they're all there. So the trading peaks, if you want to buy, sell, swap, that's happening at full tilt on Saturday for sure.
By the way, they do a couple of trade nights throughout where you can go kind of after the main show closes down, and there's rooms that they facilitate where people can go kind of lay their cards out. You can trade with other attendees that are there. But
I also liked how they had the kids section too, where the kids, you had to be a certain under the age and the kids could trade with each other. I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah. I mean, I can't afford half the cards them kids are packing around, but yeah.
Dude,
yeah,
I think I watched a kid. I think I watched a kid pull out probably cards worth more than maybe his parents made in a year. So I don't know.
But Saturdays when the corporate booths are a total nightmare. There's lots of fun stuff there. You know, you can do the the pack ripping or the virtual ripping. Those they have booths there. And you can go get a free pack to rip. But dude, on Saturday, like good luck getting into any of those booths. You're trying to get to the upper deck booth or the tops booth or one of the pack ripping. It's just a total nightmare in those corporate booths, man.
I mean, so if you got multiple days, I mean, get that stuff out of the way. Maybe Friday, I don't know if they're there. I can't remember if they were there Thursday, but get it done earlier just to avoid that Saturday, and use Saturday for the floor, not necessarily the lines.
Yeah. All right. So Sunday, last day. I mean, you can hang around till Sunday, Jake, and I tend to fly home a little bit earlier than Sunday because I got my boys waiting for me to bring the boxes home. But Sunday's where the deals happen, man. Right? You got all these people. They need to make sure they just turned a profit over the last couple of days, and they got inventory, Jake. They don't want to pack that stuff back up and pay to ship it, or try to get it into their suitcase and stay under 50 pounds or whatever. Like Sunday's where the deals happen.
Yeah, and then Saturdays, essentially, when you go back to that table you circled on Wednesday and on Sunday, and maybe make the offer, right? If it's still there, but that's another gamble, the chance you take if you wait, but sometimes it can pay off because you might actually get a good deal on that.
All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk budget. Let's talk strategy. And because I think this is where people torch themselves. My first time at the National, I blew way too much up front and didn't save a lot for the end. So let's talk in there a little bit.
Yeah, I think everyone's number's different, right? Somebody shows up with a couple $100. Somebody's showing up with six figures, and we're not going to sit here and tell you what your number should be.
Right. But the rule that actually matters regardless of your number, we think, is split whatever you're bringing into thirds. And don't touch the last third until Saturday at the earliest. Because, again, stuff is going to come out. You're going to see 100%, you're going to see something on Saturday that you probably walked by the table on Friday and you just never saw it, right? So, man, split that money up.
I mean, everything looks like a grail before you've seen the whole floor. I mean, spend big on day one, and there's nothing left when other days show up.
Yeah. Another thing that I try to do, and this is maybe our friend Ben taught me this a long time ago. I don't use envelopes like we used to back in the day, but keep your food money and your parking money kind of separate from your card money, right? Different pockets or a different app, or I don't know what maybe a different envelope, but whatever it takes.
Yeah, because you're either stripping meals to protect your card budget, or you're telling yourself $40 lunch doesn't count, and suddenly your card money's gone too if you don't plan right. I mean,
yeah. And look, if you don't have a hotel locked in by now, we're 2 weeks out.
Dude.
Sorry about your luck. Like, that ship has sailed. Everything around the venue's been booked for a while. So we're not going to waste your time on any hotel advice today, but just get there somehow, some way.
Dude, we're staying in Chicago, which is like 40 minutes away. So, I mean, I love it because I want to kind of see some stuff in Chicago. But yeah, last year we stayed right by the place. So let's talk about this section, what to bring. And this section is named after my feet, dude.
Here we go.
Shoes. Where are the shoes that are actually comfortable, not the shoes that look cool? I learned this one.
Preach them, Jake. Tell them all about it. What happened to you?
Yeah. So my first day there, first full day, Thursday, I show up into my Jordans. I wanted to look cool, right? We're at a card show. Where are the Jordans? And it felt like the right move. You're at a card show. You got to look the part. by afternoon, my feet were done. And I'm not talking like late afternoon, I'm talking like 1 o'clock. And I'm talking it was smoked. And I had to swap out. And for the rest of the show, I had to wear my on clouds because, and my feet still hurt on Friday. They hurt on Saturday. They hurt on Sunday. And I generally, if I would have kept those Jordans on, and granted, let's talk age. I'm a little older than maybe some of the people listening here, but yeah, watch the shoes, dude.
Hey, shout out to our friends at Tombstone Rips and Pole Wax. Those guys let us use their couch. And so
dude,
Jake was 1 o'clock on Friday. Jake was posted up on that couch trying to find some energy to finish the day before he got those on clouds on feet on Saturday. Look, guys, the floor is concrete. Like there's a couple of booths that have the padding on them. Golden's booth has padding in it. So like when you walk into the Golden booth, you're like, it's at least a little bit of a reprieve for your feet, but it's non-negotiable, guys. Like it doesn't matter how good the shoes look. And look, Jake knows me, man. I got a full fleet of shoes up in the closet. I'm not wearing a pair I've never worn before, and I'm not wearing a pair that I might wear out to dinner with the wife that, that in 3 hours later my feet are like, I'm bringing my most comfortable shoes. 8-10 hours in, man, you're going to be miserable if you don't have it.
Let's be honest, I should have acted my age, right? Not trying to be cool for a card show. Nobody cares. I mean, nobody's like, hey, good to meet you. What are you wearing, Jordans? Oh, you're all right.
Bring a backpack. Like, I don't know. Look, who am I to judge? But don't be a wagon guy or girl. Don't be one of those people, Jake, walking around with the wagons in the middle of the aisle. Like, these people are slowing down everything. We're all just mean mugging them from behind, right? Like, you're the person everybody's annoyed by with the wagon.
Yeah. Bring your own top loaders, penny sleeves. I mean, they have people that are there to buy those. You can buy them from, but probably want to bring your own, especially if you're going to bring product back to the hotels. Make sure you bring some, but they aren't handing them out for free. They're charging you for them for sure. And it's probably a little bit of an upcharge.
And then,
I can't remember how much we were paying.
Cash is king, my friend. Cash is king. Cash closes deals faster than a card. There's no tracking. The government can't track us when we pass cash back and forth, Jake. And some of these dealers are going to charge a fee. Like if you run a credit card, they're going to tack on 2% or whatever it is. They have doubled the ATMs at the venue this year. So that's a little bit less of a bottleneck than it used to be if you're running out of cash and you got to get some more, but you're still going to get banged. I don't know. I would guess this year that the fee to withdraw, Jake, will be like $8.95 or something, right?
Like 20%. They're running mafia style in Chicago, dude. Come on. So bring water bottles. How about some snacks? I mean, those lines for lunch, they're actually not terrible, but I mean,
Saturday they're out. They're ridiculously insane. Like,
yeah,
you can snag a lunch, a little bit earlier, a little bit late on Friday and not get crazy. But one last tip. I did this last year. I told my son I was going to bring home some Vince Carter cards. And when I got there, I realized, let me just find him some that aren't like the $1,500 Vince Carter Chrome rookie or whatever. So I started digging through some value boxes, and Jake and I are about the same age. Jake, it wasn't 20 minutes in, my lower back from standing over that table and you're bent over, dude. I'm like, well, I'm not doing this anymore. So I don't know, man, maybe a little stool. There's these, those stools that fold up and you can get it in your backpack pretty easy. Something to sit on if you're going to sit there and try to go find some deals. And there are absolutely 100% deals to be found in those value boxes, but you might have to sit there for a while, and old guys like us can't do that.
All right. So autographs, dude, are a big draw for a lot of people. So let's actually talk some names because this year's lineup is pretty deep.
All right, so TriStar runs the autograph pavilion again this year, and heads up, this list will sometimes grow right up until the show. So we're doing this a couple weeks out, you guys. There'll likely be some names added. There'll probably be one or two that drop off that aren't able to make it for whatever reason. But here's what we've got confirmed right now. We'll break it down by sport a little bit. Jake, give us what's football doing?
Dude, football's solid. I mean, you got some legends. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, Kurt Warner, Earl Campbell, Charles Haley, one of the baddest men on the planet, Rob Gronkowski. Oh, gosh, I want to talk to that guy. Antonio Gates, Phil Simms, Steve Atwater.
I mean, if you're a Niners fan from the 80s, you got Montana, Rice, and Charles Haley. Holy smokes. If you like tight ends, Gronkowski and Antonio Gates, let's go.
Dude,
Baseball.
Silly.
Baseball might be deeper even. There's just Hall of Famers abound. We got the Iron Man, Cal Ripken Jr., maybe the greatest closer in the history of baseball, Mariano Rivera, Mr. October, Reggie Jackson. I got to shake Reggie Jackson's hand one time, Jake. His forearms were bigger than my thighs. Eddie Murray, Manny Ramirez, Miguel Cabrera.
Man Ram. I saw him hit a home run over the Green Monster in 2004 when I saw the Yankees play at Fenway.
Dude, Manny Ramirez was an absolute monster. Pedro Martinez, who I consider one of the top 4 pitchers of all time, maybe the nastiest slider in the game ever. Jeff Kent, Burt Blyleven, Johnny Bench. I mean, there's a classic Hall of Famer. Steve Carlton, and the best mustache ever in baseball, Rolly Fingers. I need to get me a mustache autograph for sure.
Dude, I wish they had Will Clark. Like it'd be awesome if they had Will Clark and Ozzie Smith right next to each other. I would love
Will the three. Yeah, there you go. Little round 2 on the Ozzie Will Clark.
Yeah, that's it, dude. Basketball and hockey are a little thinner, but they got some real names. I mean, here's just a couple: Hakeem Olajuwon, Jagger from hockey. I don't know if I said it right.
Jagger. Yep, Jagger, you got it. Yeah, all-time great Pittsburgh Penguin. And look, the headliner spot might go to boxing. I mean, at least for us guys that grew up in our time frame, right? Freaking Mike Tyson's going to be there, dude. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield. I wonder if they'll have the ear chunk there, like sitting on the table between the two of them. Ric Flair will also be there. I don't know if you guys have seen Ric Flair lately. This might be last year Ric Flair's around. Like, that guy's getting towards the end. But the all-time greatest wrestler, in my opinion, one of the all-time greatest boxers, at least from our generation. Wow, Combat Sports is bringing it.
Yeah, for sure. And again, back to what Bob was saying, important caveat here. I mean, that first wave got announced back in March as 34 names, with way more still coming. So treat this kind of as a precursor, and there's probably going to be some more for final lineup. So just check TriStar's website as you get closer to the show for the full list.
Now, when you get to the venue, and many of you may have not bought your ticket already, you can go do that in advance. But there's a tiered system for badges. So it's like general admission kind of gets you in the door. I heard Jake, and shout out to our friend Ben Rippin, who made sure we didn't have to stand in line. But general admission lines can get pretty long in the morning, right? So get there early, or maybe you get the early entry pass, or there's a VIP package that includes, a set number of free autographs. So when we had the VIP last year, we had a bunch of tickets that we could use. I think a couple of us gave them to some of the kids that we saw walking around on Friday or Saturday because we weren't going to use them. But so there's a few different ways. Now, if you're looking for a specific big name, though, what are we doing?
Got to show up to the pavilion about 30 minutes before your signer's scheduled time, because they line people up by ticket number. And if you're late, you're not cutting the line. You're going to take to the back of it, dude. And those lines get pretty thick.
And here's a detail that tells you how far ahead the real diehards plan. You guys, TriStar's mail-in deadline for getting stuff signed remotely is actually before the show even opened. So people are locking in their autograph plans in advance. So you might want to go. Some of these guys, if you waited until you showed up on, maybe you're not coming until the weekend, you're going to be there on Saturday, your son wants to get the big autograph. It's probable by that point some of these people will be booked out, but you can go and try to get some advanced stuff through TriStar.
Well, right. And that's a good reminder, man. Don't just do a figure it out when you get there plan. That's typically how I roll. And it's always it's always going to be kind of how I roll. So it's why I don't get the autos, but book it before and book it now. Right.
All right. Let's get into some fun stuff. Let's talk about what happened last year.
Dude, besides my feet getting smoked.
Yeah. Besides that, tell them about the breakers.
Okay. So one of the favorite parts wasn't even necessarily the cards. It was actually getting to meet the people that we'd only ever talked to online, our breakers, guys we've watched boxes and they busted breaks for us for 100 times on stream. And then actually getting to walk up and shaking hands in person, it was cool. In fact, some of them, go into streams now and they're like, Jake. Whereas my screen name, M46 Rippin, that's all they knew me as. And then actually get to personally meet them was really cool.
Yeah, it's a little different in person. I've had this experience in my professional career a lot where you get to meet people that you've only seen on the other side of a screen. But it's the whole online hobby community for 1 week is just in a physical space, which is super cool.
Yeah, and then there's, the grade. One of our buddies, who's actually a co-host here, Kevin Rips. He had an iconic card. Why don't you tell him what happened there?
Well, so it's card 57. You know it, the iconic red, white, and blue border, Michael Jordan 86 Fleer. He brings this card to the National. And so, surprise, if you don't know, on location at the National, they have PSAs there. And so you can go and
they're going to be there this year, even though they're shut down currently. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
Just going to cost you.
That's actually something we did on Thursday. Right when we got there, we went and dropped off some cards that some of the guys wanted to get graded, and then you can pay a little bit of a fee, Jake, and be able to pick it up before the Nationals over. So that's what Kevin did with that Jordan, and that's a brutal card to get a high grade on. Like that whole set, right? Those borders show all that wear. The centering was never great to begin with. That's just kind of how basketball cards were printed back then. What was he expecting? Jake, do you remember?
Well, he was actually he thought 6, maybe 7, and he would have been happy with a 7 on the card and given the condition, and he gets it back, and it came back an 8, which is massive.
He lost it, like in the middle of the convention center. And this is not the only person I saw, by the way, that like was tons of jubilee over something fun that happened, but Kevin lost it. Dude. That was so fun.
That was super cool. In fact, you know what? I was actually standing in line, and this kid who picked up a Babe Ruth autographed ball at a garage sale for $500, kind of did a hope it's real type of purchase.
Yeah.
He actually got it back, and they did a popper thing. It was authenticated as a real Babe Ruth auto, so it was a massive pickup, dude.
That's so awesome. By the way, there's the flip side of this. We have a friend. I'll keep his name anonymous in this particular story, but he's been collecting. Now, you're going to correct me if I'm wrong here. I think it's Tom Brady's Bowman Chrome rookie. Is that what it was?
That is correct. The whole rainbow, 1 through 10.
1 through 10. So PSA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And he had all but 1 and 2. And so in order to get 1, we walked over to the PSA grading. He had bought a raw copy of it, and he literally folded it in half, stepped on it, unfolded it, and then submitted it to PSA so he could get his 1 grade. So you could do something awesome like Kevin, or you could do something stupid like our buddy. But PSA will be there grading, and you can actually get your card graded on location and pick it up Sunday to have it for your flight home. And I think Kevin slept with his Michael Jordan PSA 8 for the next couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken.
He might have kissed it a few times too. I don't know. So let's wrap this up, dude. So look, is it a long week? Yes. Are your feet going to hurt? I don't care if you have on clouds or the best shoe in the world. I think they still would. And I mean, obviously you can ask me how I know.
But look, there's a reason 46 years later that people still fly in, still book what's left of the hotel rooms, or in our case, get an Airbnb 40 minutes away, still walk that concrete floor for 5 straight days.
Yeah, and it's the 1 week a year the entire hobby exists in the same room. Every era of the game, every generation of collector. Because, I mean, dude, I saw cards there, Bob, where I didn't even know they existed. Like, the amount of cards, both vintage, current, and I mean, it was insane. And it's all right there.
Jake, it gave me, I walked out of that National last year with a whole new, like I've been collecting all these letter auto cards. I got that idea because I walked to a booth and the guy had like his name or the name of his company spelled out in these letter auto cards. And I'm like, hey, that's cool. Like I want to spell my name out. And now I've got, I don't know, 100 of these letter auto cards. I can spell any word in the English dictionary, but plan your days. You guys split your budget up into third, wear the boring shoes.
Yeah. And go find your story, because that's us. You're going to come home with one. Trust us. You're going to have something fun to talk about.
That's it for today. We hope we see you guys at the National. Come find us. He's M46 Rippin'. I'm Bob's Rippin'. Ben Rippin' and Kevin Rips will be there. We got some other friends that'll be joining us.
Until next time, Bob, what are we going to do?
We're going to keep ripping,
Let's
Jake.
keep ripping. Let's go.
Thanks for listening to Cardboard Wars on the Rippin' Podcast Network. Don't forget to leave a rating and review, and check out rippin.com to get connected to what we have coming up. Find us on Instagram and let us know what you would like to hear about on a future episode of Cardboard Wars. Until next time, keep ripping.